Down the ages, man, in order to survive, has tended to be either a hunter-gatherer or a sower of crops. Generally, what happened was that the hunter did some sowing and the sower some hunting. The hunter, in this case, is now under severe pressure to cease his way of life due to the loss of habitat. The forest, that is basic for the survival of these people, is being gravely degraded or simply felled for the expansion of agriculture. We have the urgent responsibility to provide tools and techniques so that these tribes can carry on living in their own land, conserving their language, roots and cultural identity. Producing their own food with drip irrigation in their vegetable gardens has to be one of these tools. One of these vulnerable groups are the Wichi of northwest Argentina that live between the Bermejo and Pilcomayo rivers. Some 30 years ago, I moved to Misión Chaqueña, where, as an agriculturalist, I had to accompany the communities in very large agricultural development projects. It became clear after some years of work that the project's goals, such as sustainable production and Indian management, were not being reached. In broad terms, the reasons were: there were around 200 workers on each farm. We worked a capital-intensive system with sophisticated machinery. It was difficult to coordinate sales of the produce as the markets were in Buenos Aires more than 1,000 miles away. As the families and clans, which are central to Wichi life, had to mix on the same job, there were constant clashes and management problems, with no time to reflect and analyze together. Studying what has happened elsewhere, it seems that most agricultural programs have resulted in failure. Are we suggesting that all projects that try to teach hunters to grow tomatoes will fail? In other words, can we definitely conclude that the Wichi have not got the capabilities to grow their own food? We say no to this. From the Seawalk Foundation, we have begun to coordinate actions so as to develop home gardens and train the Wichi in nutrition knowledge. The strategy this time will be different. We will build on the close friendship links with the different families that have grown over the last 30 years. We will talk things over with the group, reflecting and analyzing the changes that are occurring. We will work with women who are responsible for family food and nutrition. We will support cultivation of small and very small plots of land. We will include drip irrigation as part of the kit offered so as to lower the climatic risk of the extreme Chaco temperatures. We will avoid any bureaucratic obstacles. Families should comply with these simple conditions: that there be a good water system in the community, that they are keen and enthusiastic to have their own garden, and that they have an enclosed areas so as not to allow animals, mainly pigs and goats, ruin the garden.
Mucha gente dice que la origen no da, pero no es cierto. Al contrario, nosotros queremos más ayuda, más al fondo, una capacitación que nos puede llevar a un destino mejor.
Each family chooses the place where the sowing will be done. The irrigation grid of drip hoses is set out, and these are connected with the water tap. In spring and summer, the traditional maize, melons and pumpkins are sown, while in the cooler autumn and winter, tomatoes, peppers, beans and lettuce. As we don't have the funds, we depend on donations. The government's home vegetable garden program, Pro Huerta INTA, provides us with the seed. The drip irrigation hoses are recycled from the big horticultural farms. Also, our family and friends have donated 2,700 meters of new hose that will support around 20 vegetable gardens. The cost of each 120 square meter garden when we buy the hose is just over $20. If the hoses are donated, then the cost falls to only $8. A second chapter will be to train the Wichi to produce vegetables that they can sell and so generate the needed income which will help them stay on their own land. We need your support so we can accompany the Wichi into a future of dignity, health and freedom. Tack.